Now, on Saturday, supporters of three initiatives that will be on your ballot held kind of a campaign kickoff event in Thurston County. The November 3 election, just 85 days from today, but voters will start getting their ballots in like mid October. So, really, it's only just over 2 months for the campaigns on both sides of this to, have a chance to convince voters one way or the other. And the debate about transgender athletes has been in the news like crazy lately. All this flap with the WNBA, and you may recall there was a student athlete who attended the Storm game here, where you then had Sophie Cunningham in town, and they were supporting her because she's been speaking out, in support of protecting girls in sports and keeping biological males out of women's sports. So there was a bit of a flap with the co-owner of the Storm who had some very unkind language for a 16-year-old girl who was in attendance of that game with a sign supporting Sophie Cunningham. You've probably seen a lot. And then in the days to come, the WNBA now announcing they're going to have to take up basically this week and sit down and maybe define what a woman is, or what someone who is eligible to compete in the WNBA, what those qualifications really have to be, because now you've got some former NBA players who are saying, I'm going for the WNBA. All of this meant to sort of push this, and WNBA kind of has got themselves into a bit of a corner on this. But this is Frances Stout. She attended the weekend event. You may recall she was the Tumwater High School basketball player who refused to play, she was 15 at the time, against an 18-year-old biological male on the other team who identified as transgender. And she ended up being investigated for allegedly misgendering this young man. Now, we caught up with Frances again at the Let's Go Washington event because she's really become the face for this push to protect girls' sports in the state of Washington.
I think, first of all, we are doing great getting to this point. I think it's incredible. We've had over 500,000 people be on board with this, and that says something. That says the people in Washington, they want to make a change. And I think what's really important is we have to make sure that the people against this are not spreading misinformation, mainly about genital checks and having to get that done to be able to play in sports. I think that creates a lot of fear around being able to play. And so I think we have to really lay that down and make sure people know that that is misinformation. But I also think that people need to be spreading the word, going around, getting people to actually vote, because a lot of people do not vote on this. And we need more people to make a change. And that's how we are going to protect the girls of Washington State, is by getting people to vote yes.
Now, also in attendance Saturday at the Let's Go Washington campaign kickoff was North Thurston High School District fifth grade teacher Travis Reap. He's been very critical of the Washington Education Association, that's the state teachers union, and their position against the initiative to restore parental rights in schools. He believes that as it is right now, where school teachers, counselors, administrators can basically keep secrets from parents. He's got a real problem with that. He says it's harming kids. It's destroying trust between parents and schools, potentially feeding the decline in the public school system and enrollment numbers we've seen in recent years. While some other states have recovered post COVID, we haven't here in the state of Washington. So here is a little from this fifth grade teacher from the North Thurston School District.
I am a fifth grade teacher here in Thurston County. I'm a father of four. I'm an elected union representative, and I don't agree with WEA and their position in keeping parents out of the classroom. I don't. I'm going to say some quiet parts out loud. Teachers, if you take just a little bit of time and look at some of our jokes and our memes and our inside business jokes, we don't agree with parents. Sorry, that's the quiet part out loud. I don't agree with the movies that you let your kids watch that come into the classroom. I don't agree with some of the ways that you discipline your children. I don't agree with some of the ways you don't discipline your children. But you know what? I'm not the parent. You are. You are responsible for raising your children. Under law, you are the primary caregivers. And I happen to be a teacher that respects that. I happen to be a teacher that wants to partner with parents, that wants to provide you with information about what's going on in the classroom so that you can make the decisions that are good for your family. My job is to partner with you and support you in whatever it is you decide that you are going to do with your children. And right now, people like Chris Reichdahl and WEA say they know better than you know your own children. The only people that benefit from voting no on this initiative are the politicians and educators who believe they know better than you, the parents, who believe that maybe they love their students more than you love your child. And I can't accept that. I can't accept that.
So you may recall that both the initiative to restore parental rights and the initiative to protect girls in sports both were sent to lawmakers, and they were expected to take those up during the 2026 legislative session. Our state constitution basically says, you get lawmakers, you get an initiative that has to be given priority ahead of other business during the session. Well, they declined to do that despite being pushed by reporters week after week after week. We tried, and they punted to the November ballot and said, voters will have the say on this. That's fine with us. They didn't want to take it up during the session. So both of those will appear on the November ballot, as well as Initiative 645, asking voters if they would like to repeal the recently passed income tax. So lots more on that in these next couple of months as we head towards the general election on November the 3rd.